Hello, welcome to our online webinar on industrial process improvements. My name is Boston de Bogert and I'm from JOA Air Solutions. And we spoke quite a lot of customers lately in various industries, plastics, chemical, food, ingredients, vitamins, and also pharmaceutical industries. And a lot of you are right now busy with process improvements. So we thought let's address this with a webinar. So the setup of this webinar is first, so why is it important? How do we address this and the challenge when you encounter process improvements? Of course, the end results concerning our method to approach these challenges. And of course, we end this webinar with 4 case studies in various industries where we give some specific examples and how we did it and what the end results were. Let's start. Um, okay, industrial process improvement. Why is it important? What's at stake? Of course, especially now it goes quite well. A lot of sites are sold out. So crucial is reducing the downtime, reducing waste of product. Another challenge is the high resource prices, and again, everything to stay competitive. So that's why it's so important to continuously improve your processes. And why this topic is also important from a dust and vapor point of view. So why is it difficult to address process improvement? Well, often when it's involving dust, vapor, aerosols, or odor, it's a challenge to know where to start. What's the insight on my side? And of course, also changing emission legislation and safety legislation. And last but not least, often when there's a install base, it's not always sufficient. So it's underperforming. Um, so, how do we start then? How do we address these challenges? Crucial. We have a data-centered approach. We start measuring. Um, why is it so crucial that we know what we're talking about? We're talking about capacities, needed airflow, humidity, temperature, um, pipe design, number of bands, distances. All is quite crucial to create the right setup for a process improvement. After we have acquired that data, we will start modeling. And that is also crucial to predict what the future setup will be successfully look like. So that ends in a data-driven design and engineering. And then, we have installed with this kind of method over 2,000 systems in the last 24 years and in various industries. Like I started in the beginning, let's say really nice clients within the plastic, chemical industry, pharmaceutical industry, and the food industry, feed industry, ingredients, vitamins. So names among these ones and among various others. Um, so, as I said, data is crucial. And how do we acquire that data? It all starts on your site with the site survey, where we acquire the data of measuring. Um, with the data, we will start modeling, and then we start identifying the specific improvement opportunities. Based on that opportunities, we will start our pre-engineering, let's say building the concept to address this. And if we have the concept with this pre-engineering, you have a clear insight of what the extraction solution would look like, and also what the involved capex will be. And of course, that will end up in the summary and in a report, a pre-engineering report, which you can use um, for your budgeting for this year or next year. So this plan is always quite crucial into how to address the challenges and also have a pre-engineered solution conceptually. So Important to mention in our pre-engineering phase, when we start on process improvements, we will always have a holistic approach when we visit your site and dive in your processes. So, besides process improvements, we will look at energy recovery opportunities, hence why we measure temperature and humidity. But besides energy recovery, we will also look in for opportunities to improve a healthy and safe work environment. Or, as I mentioned, changes legalization. What are the implications and opportunities to, for example, to reduce ATEX zoning, and also to have the changing legislation in mind, be future-proof ready where the changing emission limits. That comes with our holistic approach when we acquire data and visit your site and make the plan. Again, the start of this webinar, the focus of the pre-engineering is process improvement, but we will always incorporate our holistic approach. So with the plan and the modeling based on the data, and we have the concept ready in our pre-engineering, and we have built the system, the end result should always be a higher uptime, less OPEX involved, hence less maintenance. When we have also looked into your emission limits, we will create the solution will create the right emission control that you stay below your limits and have your license to operate not hampered. You have a balanced system where we create the right balance between over and under extraction. So we create the right capacity at the right spot in your site. We will look into the energy recovery angle if it's possible, especially this stands or falls with the right closed loops on your site. When we recover energy, it's crucial to have the right consumers linked to the producers, and of course the ATEX zoning, as I mentioned before. Now the case study, as I mentioned. So the first case study, and as a specific example, is it was a chemical site in the US where, let's say, there was over extraction of plastic granules, especially of colored plastics. There was no insight on the process and where the loss originated from. So, as I said, we identified the bottleneck there based on our data-driven approach. We created a balanced extraction solution, and in our approach, when we have in the three phases, where we always start with our approach, so that would say we eliminate the extraction possibilities. So, in specifics, source elimination. That will start with the process improvement. If that's not possible, we will extract, source extraction, and that's what we did here. So we designed the right hood, which prevented over extraction, and that also caused for quite effective product recovery. Seeing the high volume, it ended up with an annual saving of 300,000 in dollars. So this was a very successful case in the chemical/plastic industry in the US, and then based on our hood technology. So another case study would be in the food industry. What was based here is that it had to do with the over extraction, and also with the downtime based on the current extraction system and the piping. A lot of maintenance was involved. We look into the particle characteristics here, and we have created, based on our restrictions, as you can see on the picture here, the right balance system. So we guaranteed the balancing over various extraction points, and that prevented the buildup and the clogging of the piping. And that's when this client needed less maintenance and, of course, higher uptime. So two big advantages of a balanced extraction system. The third example I'd like to give you is in the tobacco industry. This example is centered on energy recovery that was created by linking a closed loop of the producers and the consumers. We incorporated the energy recovery on our scrubber solution, and that caused over an energy consumption reduction of 33%. We see this is an old trend, the energy recovery. We have done this for, well, as long as we exist, as the 24 years I mentioned. In future, we see a strong trend in the lower and the medium temperature range. That's between 60 and 300 degrees. Right now, a lot of projects are happening into that area, both in tobacco, both in food, and in the chemical and plastics industry. So if you like to learn more on this topic, specifically on this temperature range, please look into our webinar. It's on our website, on the downloads. We have created 2 webinars on energy recovery. So please have a look and please connect if you'd like to know more on this topic. But a great process improvement, energy recovery, and here to stay for the next 10 years. So the last example I'd like to give you, and which gives a different angle on process improvement, is where it involves, let's say, good housekeeping and reducing of your zoning. That has to do with great benefits, all caused by the right source extraction. So with the right source extraction and a good housekeeping solution, like a central vacuum cleaning solution, then if you both do it right, you can reduce your ATEX zoning, which has some nice benefits, both from a capex point of view, where you, because you need to spend less money on the right equipment, but also from a human resource point of view. So it creates a healthy and safe environment for your operators, and especially in these times, that's quite crucial to keep your factory up and running. So let me close out on this webinar, where we, well, give you a brief and overall view on how we address process improvement. We give you some examples, some case studies in various industries, and some highlights there. It's crucial to have your extraction system balanced to guarantee the right extraction velocities and capacities all around your site. This often creates a higher uptime / less downtime and less wasted resources. This creates cost savings. And last but not least, we will always look into future developments and make sure the solution is future-proof. So we build modular, but also create a current install base which is future-proof ready. So if legislation changes, we can create an actual module or extraction solution which is based on the current solution. So hence, please reach out if you have any questions or like to know more on this process improvement approach, more on our holistic approach. Again, please reach out. And happy to speak with you, and have a great day. Thanks for your time. Bye bye.